right. YouTube is up. And Facebook is up. So I'm running just a couple minutes late. I might have to do something with that cat. All right, go. She's fun. Yeah, I'm not sure. She was so small and cute, and now she's just full of herself. Full of herself. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, but so it's still too hot to have the window shade open. Sorry for any crazy noise from the mic. So who's here? Who's over on YouTube? Whoever it is. All right. So I thought we would do a few things that we haven't done for a little while today. So remember just to go at your own pace and skip things that don't work for you and maybe substitute something that your body needs instead. Right? And at any point, of course. For the cat isn't screwing up YouTube over there. She's literally on the computer. So, we'll see how that goes. All right, so you guys ready? Let's go ahead and come to a standing position. Feet up underneath the hip bones. Checking in that your toes point forward. Feel the four corners of your feet on the floor. All right, we've got quite a few balance poses today, or standing and balance poses today. So your foundation, of course, your feet here is very important. So feel the feet into the floor. Pressing down, making the legs active. Little tuck of the tailbone, lift the pelvic floor. Lower belly in and up, so we're strong through the lower abdomen. Standing extra tall. Be soft in the upper belly. Closing your eyes. Bringing the head in line with the spine. And focusing on how the body feels in this position. It's not just standing like we do all the time. Tune into what's happening inside of the body instead of where we normally are focusing on what's going on outside the body. Find your breath. And allow the breath to expand into that upper belly. Finding that just the uncomfortable breath. Take a ujjayi breath, so opening the back of the throat and making it a little bit noisy in your ear if you like. Just a little trick to stay focused on the breath. As we begin to add in movement here, on the next inhale, take the arms and stretch them up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bring them back down. And see if you can just let your arms reflect your breath. So you're empty when you're down and you're full when you hit the top. We'll do that one more time. Let's come back up to the top. We're going to interlace the fingers here, keep the shoulders relaxed. You can rotate the palms toward the ceiling and then exhale, tip yourself over to the left. or right. And then back up to the center and switch. So nice and easy here, flowing side to side. Go one more time on each side. When you're back to the center, just exhale, release the arms. And then let the hands come to the thighs, and you can lean if you need to lean, otherwise they're just resting here. On the exhale, come forward, half fold-ish, and then a bend in through the knees, and on the inhale, roll up through the spine all the way back up. So think flat back on the way down, and then really round back there. Take a few more flows. And then come on over into that half fold and hold. So kind of in the middle, maybe you're parallel to the floor, maybe you're nowhere near that, right? So whatever the middle is for your hamstrings. Keeping the belly in, we're leaning on the thighs if we need to lean on the thighs here. Now we're keeping the shoulders back the whole time. And we're going to work on a deeper fold with the breath. So on the inhale, lengthen up through your spine. And on the exhale, see if you can tip in a tiny bit deeper to your stretch. Inhale, come into that halfway place again. Give those hamstrings a break for a second. And then exhale, sink in a little deeper. So in and out with the breath. And eventually you'll find your full fold. And if that was after one breath, so be it. If it takes a few, give yourself those extra breaths to finally make it into wherever the full stretch is for now. Hands can absolutely stay up on the thighs. And if you do reach down for your shins or toes or the floor, keep those shoulders back. So it's not just the upper back rounding to touch the mat. All in the hamstrings. And when you have found that full fold, just kind of hang out there for a second or two. Notice if there's any changes. You can maybe walk in place a little bit. Finding the deepest part of your hamstring stretch for now. Let's go ahead and step ourselves back to a down dog. And allow yourself to wiggle around a little bit here. Thinking about the hands like we talked about our feet. Nice and even on the four corners. Fully engaged into the mat. And if you like to add a little bit of extra work, like we press down into the four corners of our feet to activate the muscles in the legs, the same idea with the hands. If you imagine pressing down into the floor and sweeping them toward each other, you will light up your arms and shoulders like crazy. So again, if you need the extra work. Settling in then, sinking the heels toward the floor. And then we're going to lift the right leg. You can use momentum if you need momentum. Go ahead and step that foot through the hands and come to a lunge. Dropping the back knee. Adjust the toes forward if you need. Aligning the knee over the ankle. And then wiggle around into your hips a little bit. Coming to a center, sink into the hips as low as they'll go, and imagine sweeping the legs toward each other. From there, take the right leg straight. And the hips sit back, but sitting back on that left heel is not the goal, right? Feeling an extra stretch in your on your right hamstring-ish, right? There's the goal. If you don't touch the floor, you can come up on your shin or thigh even, use blocks, keeping the shoulders down and back. And then we'll bend back into the knee. Keeping the hips low here, still sweeping the legs toward each other. Bring the right hand to the hip. We're going to add in a little twist, rotating the belly toward the thigh. Side ribs toward the ceiling. This right shoulder's back. Tucking the left side under at the same time. Let's release the twist. You can absolutely leave the left knee down. Otherwise, lift the left knee and see about taking the right leg straight again. So a little deeper into the hamstring. If it's too much, drop it down again. Remember, you can prop up if you need to prop up. And then again here, bending into the knee. Drop the left knee to the floor if you feel unstable. Otherwise, climb up on the right thigh here and start to lift the upper body. You can absolutely hang on. Keeping the shoulders down and back, maybe extend the arms toward the ceiling or interlace your fingers behind your back. And any variations with the arms. And then let's release it. Making our way back to down dog. Maybe wiggling around a little bit. Lifting the left leg, we're going to the second side. So lift the left, swing or step it through to the hands, and lunge over here. So dropping the right knee to begin, wiggling around into the hips a little bit, wake them up. And then find your center, sinking into the hips, squeezing the legs toward each other, keeping the shoulders down and back as we take the left leg straight. Making adjustments, taking variations if that's what your body needs this morning. And then bend back into the knee, sink nice and low into the hips. Keeping what we have, add in the twist, bringing the left hand to the hip. Rotating around. Releasing the twist. Your choice, leaving the right knee on the mat if you need. Otherwise, lift it and that left leg straight again. Nice big breaths here. We'll bend back into the knee. Finding stability here, and again, dropping the knee if you don't feel stable enough. Climb up on the left thigh, lifting the upper body. Press through the right heel, really feel that stretch in the right leg. Hang on, or take the arms where you want to take the arms. And then release it back to lunge and step back down dog. Again, you're letting yourself just kind of wiggle. We're going to shift forward into a plank here. Hold plank. Drop knees if you need, of course. Pressing through the heels, extend out the crown of your head. Keep the belly in so the hips don't sag. So let your butt stick up. And then go ahead and drop down to the knees. So we want to keep this straight line from the crown of the head to the knees. As slow as you possibly can. Begin to bend your elbows nice and tight to the sides here, keeping the shoulders down and back. And eventually everything hits the floor together, ish, of course. And you're down on the belly. So, let's slide back a little bit here. We're going to work our shoulders some, and we're going to work into maybe a deeper pose here. So the feet stay on the floor, the tailbone stays tucked for the heels. And then just begin here, elbows in, by rolling the shoulders up by the ears, together on the back, down toward the hip bones, nice and easy following the breath. So inhale as you roll up, exhale as you release down. So big shoulder shrugs, and maybe they start to get a little bigger. Begin to engage your arms a little bit. So as you roll up, pull like you're pulling your hands back toward your hips. Feeling the triceps. Cementing those elbows into your sides. Go ahead and release for a moment. I'm going to keep that idea and we're going to add on to it. So let's do that again. Inhale and roll your shoulders, pull with your hands, and then begin to press. Keep the elbows in, keep the shoulders down and back, and maybe you can take your arms almost straight. Try not to lock out your elbows, keep the shoulders down and back, and gently release. So just like we went down, we're going to go up. So keep those elbows in, press down into the knees, lift the belly, muscularly anyway, and then press into the hands, bring yourself slowly back up to kneeling plank. All the way back, take child's pose. From our child's pose here, we're going to make our way back up into down dog. Walking the feet to the hands into our standing fold again. And then here, bend your knees if you need to, so we can take the index and middle fingers and wrap them around the big toes. Stay even on the four corners of the feet though. We're going to take the legs straight if you can. Either way, bend the elbows out to the sides and maybe even pull on your toes a little bit. Drag your belly toward your thumbs. Release the toes. And here, take the fingers to interlace behind the lower back. Knees can stay bent if you need. Shoulders draw toward each other, knuckles stretch away. Maybe up off of your lower back or not. Nice big breaths. And we'll gently release it. So like we came down again here, go ahead and bend in through your knees. And on an inhale, roll all the way up. All right, so we've been working on our sun salutes. Let's go ahead and get into them. Again, 3, variation A and a B, right, if that means anything to you. If not, just follow along. Remember to listen to your body. You can modify a sun salute as well, right? And do the release. So let's inhale, stretch the arms up. And exhale, take yourself into fold. Inhaling from halfway up. And then exhale, step yourself back to plank. Knees if you want, all the way down to the belly. Inhale as we roll, pull, a little bit of a press for our cobra or in and up dog. And then all the way up and back to down. Inhale, step forward, fold. Next inhale, halfway up. Fold back over again. And then reach all the way up, inhaling. Exhale the arms. So again, like that. Let's inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway up. Back to plank. All the way down to the belly, that same exhalation if you can. Inhale to cobra. Exhale back to down dog. Inhaling, step forward. Next inhale, halfway up. Fold over again. And then we'll reach up. And exhale, release. So you know the drill, this is the third one, and you're on your own. I'm not going to talk, you're just going to do. If you get lost, listen to what your body needs. How do I get to the next place? Or you can be. All right, so you have one cue. Inhale and lift. And go. So then one variation B. And again, here, take your time. If you need an extra breath, if you want to modify something, you got it, okay? So let's inhale here, sit into chair. And then exhale and fold. Halfway up. Exhale back plank. All the way down. Inhaling cobra. Exhaling back to down dog. With the inhale, the right foot steps forward for lunge. Drop the back knee or heel and reach up. Exhale, come on back down again. Back to down dog. Slide forward on an inhale, plank. Exhale to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward on the inhale. Heel or knee to the mat and lift. Exhale back down. Down dog. Inhale, slide forward. And exhale down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale back to down dog. So then you can hold this down dog or drop on down to knees and take child's pose. Full smooth breaths here. Take one more breath where you are. And then we make our way back up to down dog. Inhaling, step forward for fold. Coming halfway up. And then folding back over. Inhaling into chair. And exhaling to release it off. So, let's Hopefully that got heart pumping a little bit. So let's take a nice big step back with the left foot. We're going into warrior two. So right toes point forward, left toes cut in a little bit. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Look for your big toe, step on your right. Press down into your feet and imagine pulling them together underneath. Arms extend parallel to the floor. Reach through your middle fingers here, stretching the arms. Let's bend that right elbow. Press the forearm on the thigh, left arm up and over your ear. Stretch through your fingertips here. And see if you can sink into your hips a little bit. Making our way back to warrior two. This time here, take that left hand to the back of the left thigh, turning the right palm toward the ceiling, reach the hand toward the ceiling, but try not to let your shoulder lift. Keep your shoulder down. Bringing the arm alongside the ear, maybe turn it into a little bit of a back or a little bit of a bigger back bend. And bring it back to warrior two again. Step it back to the top of the mat. Right. So let's do the other side. I'm just going to turn around for ease. Nice big step back with the right foot. And then check out your feet. Left heel and then the right instep, right toes pulled in a bit, bending into this left knee. For your big toe. Extend the arms when you're ready. Bending the left arm, rest that one on the thigh, bring the right arm over the ear, sinking into the hips. Come back to warrior two. And then take the right hand to the back of the thigh, left palm toward the ceiling, reaching up. Keep that left shoulder sinking down. And then back to warrior two again. Step it back to the top of the mat. So, next, we're going to step the left foot back again. This time, keeping the legs straight. So the feet are in essentially the same position. Right toes pointing forward, left toes cut in just a little bit. Open your body to the side of your mat as much as you can. If you just kind of sink into your hips, they start rotating toward the top of the mat. Feel that? Right? We want to try as much as possible to keep them to the side of the mat. So it may not be perfect, but we go where the body allows. So let's extend the arms again like we did for warrior two. This time extending, reach forward with the right hand as far forward as you can reach. And then let your right hand fall and your left hand lifts to the ceiling. Lean on the leg if you need to lean. Use a cat. We're going to take one more breath here. And then bring the left hand to the hip. Ideally, we try to keep the body facing this side here. Bend into your knees so we can take the right hand to the floor. You can absolutely grab it.
Pop the left toes in until you can lift them away from the floor. 1 inch counts. You can take the foot hip height, taking the right leg straight, great. If not quite, don't panic. And of course, you can lift the left arm, look toward the left hand, all the fancy things, if you're not worried about falling on your face. And then bend back into the knee, triangle. And inhale, hinge back up. And step back to the top of the mat. Second side, same set. Nice big step back with the right foot. Arrange your feet. And you can change, right? If you started off too narrow or if you started off too wide, it's easy to change, right? Keeping the body open to the side, extend the arms, reach over those left toes, and hinge. Rest on the shin, or just let that arm dangle from the shoulder. Bringing the right hand to the hip. Staying open to the side as much as you can. Bend into the knee, the left hand comes forward. And we lift the right toes. Let's take one more breath. Bend back into the left knee so the right toes can come to the mat into triangle again. And then we'll hinge up. Release the arms and step back to the top of the mat. So, one more set. Come to the middle again. Take a short step back this time with your left foot. So here we stay facing the top of the mat. So you can absolutely leave your hands on your hips to help that happen. When you're ready, bend into the right knee, keeping the left heel clean to the floor. So again, adjust your feet. If you're too wide, too narrow, maybe too narrow side to side like a balance beam, make it wider. And then just like we did earlier, if you want to extend the arms or interlace the fingers or any of the fancy things. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. You're welcome here to leave the arms extended. A little tricky for the balance sometimes, so maybe bringing the hands to the hips or even resting them on this right thigh. We're going to come all the way into the right foot, up on the back toes, and lift the left toes away from the floor. Now, ideally, the upper body and left leg are parallel to the floor. That might not be reality. Stay facing the floor rather than letting that hip kick open. Arms go where the arms go, of course. And then bend back into the knees so we can step back to our warrior one where we started. And then release it back to the top of the mat. All right, we're almost through the standing pose. One more side. So let's go. Step back with the right foot. Again, short step, nothing crazy. Adjusting the feet as you go. Okay, so when you're ready, start bending into the knee. Taking the arms. We're going to take the arms. And then looking to warrior three. So hands go where you need them to. Up on the back toes, all the way to the left foot, lifting the right leg. And again, take the arms where they need to be. That might be in the floor. One more nice big breath. And then bend back into the knee, step back to warrior one. And release it back to the top of the mat. You did it. So now standing on the feet. Gotta work the upper body a little bit now. Inhale, reach the arms up. And let's go ahead and take it over into fold again, nice and easy on the way down. We'll step back to down dog. And go ahead and drop on down into child's pose again. And let's come set up on the heels. So this may not be a comfortable place for you. If you just want to come to your seat, we'll get there in a second anyway. So no worries. You can definitely pop up here or sit between your heels even if that's where your practice is. So we just want to sit up nice and tall. That's really the only trick. So if you are on your bottom and you need to block under your butt. So the belly's in. We're going to take this right hand between the shoulder blades. And then see if you can point your elbow toward the ceiling a little bit more. Use that left hand. From here, take the left hand, reach behind your back, crawl up your spine, and see if you can make the fingers move. Maybe yes, maybe. Just keep reaching in the direction that eventually the fingers will be there. Sitting nice and tall, try not to arch your back just to find your fingers. Try to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Nice big breaths. And then let's gently release it. You roll your shoulders a little bit. And then switch sides. So take the left hand between that elbow, point as much to the ceiling as you can. And ideally, when that happens, the fingers walk a little more between your shoulder blades. Yeah? The right hand climbs up the spine and tries to find the left. And it's normal for it to be there on one side and not on the other. Or for it just to be a difference, right? You may not find them on either side. But maybe one side's a little easier than more. One more big breath. Releasing the fingertips, rolling through the shoulders. Let's come forward, hands and knees, and maybe just tap out your toes. Roll your ankles. Side to side. One thing before I keep going. Since the cat is a maniac. All right, so then from there, just come on to your bottom and sit. So we're going to take the feet flat to the floor here. Roughly hip bone distance apart, toes pointing forward, 90-ish degree bend in the knee. Here, let's take the hands behind the hips with the fingers pointing toward the body. About shoulder width apart. Hands underneath your shoulders. Four corners of the hands into the mat. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back, lifting the chest. Pull the heels toward the hips to lift the hips. And maybe the hips come in line with the knees and shoulders, and maybe they don't. Up off the floor is key. Keeping the head in line with the spine, try not to let it just flop down. And then we're going to release it. So you can absolutely take that variation again, or you can change it up just a little bit. And maybe it's easier and maybe it's harder. See what happens. Take your legs straighter and bring the big toes to touch. But otherwise, it's the exact same thing. Shoulder blades pulled together on the back, the chest lifts, the heels pull toward the upper body, and we lift the hips. You can get your feet flat to the floor here. Take it. And then release. So we're going to do one more, and you decide whether you want your knees straight or bent. And now that you know which is better for you, you don't know, maybe one was better that you wouldn't have thought. Yeah? So wherever you are, shoulder blades together on the back, lift the chest, pull the heels toward the shoulders, and lift the hips. Take one more big breath, and then release it. So here, knees straight or bent, turn your fingers away from the body. Keep the hands roughly shoulder width apart though back there, and start to walk your hands up. Keep a bend in the elbows so you're not just hyperextending at the elbow. And see where they go. If it starts to get really easy, either you watch your elbows or your hands are really wide. Shouldn't be easy. Just a couple more nice big breaths. And then we'll walk the hands back in. Roll your shoulders around a little bit. And then extend the legs if they're not already. Make sure you're upright on your pelvis. Let's go ahead and reach the arms up. And we're going to fold forward, keeping the shoulders back. Let the hands fall wherever the hands fall. So elbows out helps keep your shoulders from rounding, right? Or your upper back from rounding. And if the tricks that I offer work, great. And if they don't, find something else. Not everything is right for everyone. We're going to take one more breath. And on the next inhale, lift back up. Releasing the arms. And again, roll into your shoulders, wiggle your feet, whatever feels good. Let's take those feet flat to the floor again here. Hang on to your hamstrings, take your arms almost straight, and keep the chest lifted. So again, avoid rounding through the spine here for sure. Toes might lift up off the floor. Maybe parallel, or the shins parallel to the floor. You can lift the legs straight. So the body is in kind of a V, yeah? Make it a narrow V instead of a wide V, right? Use your belly instead of your back, and you can absolutely hang on for dear life, or you can let go. Or something in the middle, right? Bring the soles of the feet together. Into your ankles. Let the heels come into the groin. Keep lifting your chest. And we'll round through the back so we can roll down to the floor. Keeping the soles of the feet together, let the feet come to the floor, and just rest here for a second. Bringing the knees into the chest and rocking a little bit. So feet flat to the floor again. This time here, go ahead and cross your left ankle over your right knee. Reach back behind the right thigh and draw it into your chest. Pressing the left leg open with your left elbow a little bit, if that feels good. And notice how the body wants to round. And if it does, let it for now. If it's not, don't make it. We're going to keep the arms, pulling the leg toward the body, but now use the leg to kick back into the hands. So a push and pull. And if your body was starting to round before, see if you can kind of flatten it out again. And it's not perfectly flat, obviously. Releasing, taking the right foot to the floor, and the left. And switching. Pressing the right ankle over the left knee, reaching back behind the left thigh. Pull the leg in, pressing the right leg away. And maybe it's not a rounding so much with your back, but maybe your right hip picks up. Or maybe it's your shoulders or something else starts to shift. Again, not all the same, but just kind of notice what your body is doing to try and help. And then keep the arms pulling toward you. Press the leg back into the hands and see if you can find that more neutral place again. The hip isn't kicking up. The spine is a little bit more neutral on the mat. Big breaths. And then release back down again. Uncrossing the legs. We'll go ahead and open the arms out into a T position here. And as always, you can make this final twist, whatever variation you like. If you need a little guidance this morning, though, take the hips over to the right, let your knees fall to the left. And in with every leg, maybe straightening the legs or leg, crossing them, turning your head, and other little variations. We're going to take just a couple more breaths over on this side. And then with an inhale, bring your knees back up to the middle, back and center. And then switch sides. So the hips left, knees right. And if you worked a different variation on the other side, start with that same variation on this side. And maybe you have to modify it. Because even within the body, we're not the same. Right? Couple more breaths over on this side. And then make your way back up to the middle again. Coming center, And pulling the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little rock. Bring it in for a good squeeze. Releasing it out into a full body stretch. And then release your stretch. Bringing the arms back down by your sides. Finding Shavasana. So wherever that is going to be, that your body is so comfortable, you don't even have to think about it anymore. Relax your muscles. Bringing the awareness back solely to your breath. And release control of your breath, but see if you can stay attentive to it. Another way, another little trick to keep your mind present. If you don't need it, don't worry about it. But if you find your mind wandering, just bring it back. Allow yourself to rest deeply for just a few minutes here. Breath to gently deepen. It's very small, restore movement to the body. Yeah. Bring the palms to touch. Bowing to the light of you. Namaste. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you saw my Facebook post, if you are on Facebook, I'm going to start a beginner's course, and it's just a 4-week course. If you know anyone who is curious about yoga, wants to attend, but either they don't know what they're doing or they don't feel flexible enough or they're a little hesitant, definitely reach out and let them know that I'm doing this course and to get in touch with me one way or the other, find me on Facebook or wherever. I'm just putting it together now, so I'll have a better idea of how it all is going to hammer out soon. Right? But in the meantime, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next weekend. Bye, y'all.